Alright, so welcome back to lesson 3. Today we're going to be comparing representations of social groups across different times, locations and contexts. We'll be mostly focusing on representations of gender, so male and female, throughout the media. Okay, first thing is we're going to be recapping on the construction of representations. Alright, so what is a stereotype and why can they be considered negative? You all should have had a go at trying to write a paragraph for this. An example paragraph for a SAC or your exam could be: they are an oversimplified version of a representation. They can often be quite negative as they don't give a detailed, accurate portrayal of the truth. They operate on assumptions that can be highly dangerous and cause significant damage to not only how the group is perceived by others, but also how a group perceives itself. Through stereotypes, audiences can gain meaning of social groups that may have a biased basis in reality, but are not applicable to all. Alright, so what you also had to do was you needed to write a stereotypical profile for a character of your choice and then draw a picture that represents the character and annotate what is stereotypical about your chosen character. Alright, what I want you to do now is partner up and I want you to show each other your stereotypical character and discuss whether or not you think they fit that stereotype. Then, what I also want you to do is show your partner the symbols that you found for the homework task and get them to determine what those symbols are meant to be representing. Alright, so give yourself 5 minutes to just do this quick recap activity and then come back to the video. Alright, so our learning goal for today is to analyze the construction of the representations of self and identity in media products and forms from different periods of time, locations and contexts. Alright, just like I do with every lesson, just reminding you that this is for outcome 1 of unit 1. Alright, so part of the study design and the key skills and knowledge that you'll be learning for this lesson are the construction of self, identity and others in media products and forms from different periods of time, location and context. Alright, so before we even move forward, so representations refer to the idea that everything we see or hear in the media has been constructed. Representations themselves can take many forms such as radio segments, newspaper articles, photographs, film and television. Just about everything you see in the media is a representation. While some representations may seem realistic, remember they're just constructions. At best, the media can only represent reality. Right? It can't show us actual reality. It is always someone's interpretation of the reality that is taking place. Okay, so representations of social groups. As we are now aware, the construction of media products employ techniques such as codes, conventions, and stereotypes to represent reality. All representations are created for a specific purpose and for certain audiences. These representations are shaped by the views, values, and attitudes of those who create them. Exploring popular representations of specific social groups such as men and women, gender, which we'll be focusing on in this lesson, families, which we'll look a little bit more into next lesson, generations, and ethnic groups in the media allows us to understand the purpose that an author has in using one of these characters. When I'm talking about generations, I'm talking about teens, I'm talking about adults, I'm talking about the elderly. Right? All those different generations have different representations in the media. Alright, when we hear about teens, we always hear about how they're thugs, how they're lazy, how they have no care for society. Alright, ethnic groups also get a bad slur in media with their representations. Right, they're usually portrayed as the villains in movies and television shows. Alright, they're the bad guys. Representing gender. So the representation of men and women in the media has long been of concern, particularly with regard to gender roles and how the media portrays women. Social and cultural theorists argue that the role of and status of women in society has been continually evolving, yet this is not always accurately reflected in media representations of them. Alright, so representing gender. So the way men are represented in the media depends upon the medium and genre that is being constructed. There are some representations that only exist on TV and others that seem to only exist within the world of movies. What I want you to do now is go to page 8 of your media representations booklet. Working in pairs, carefully examine the various male stereotypes used in the media. Alright, for each of the stereotypes, explain the use of codes and conventions used in their construction and provide examples of these characters from films and television series that you have seen. Alright, the first one, which is a tradie, has been done for you. Alright, then the others are hopeless husband or boyfriend, action hero, evil villain, father figure, the nerd, and the businessman. Alright, so give yourself about 15 minutes to maybe 20, depending on how long it takes you to get there. Alright, to figure out as much as you can about the codes and conventions and then some characters that you've seen in TVs and films. Alright, and then come back to the PowerPoint. Alright, so the media in general and advertising in particular has been accused of perpetuating stereotypical gender roles. There is a general agreement that many media representation of women fall into two categories. Women as defined by their relationship with the home and their family and males, and women as defined by their bodies and sexuality. Alright, so back in the 50s, women were always seen in the kitchen, cleaning the house, right, looking after their family and their man. As time went on, we like to have think that it has changed, but really, they're still seen looking after their family in the home a lot. They're used for a lot of cleaning products still, except these days their bodies and their sexuality they're being used to sell the product. They're being exploited. So, quick activity. Alright, give yourself 10 minutes. Alright, I want you to see if you can find a household cleaning products ad for men, especially one using a man as the male character. If you can do that, I want you to describe how it differs from the ads with women. I know there are a couple out there, so try your best to find them. Alright, once you've done that, on page 9, if you didn't see, there is another table representations of women. Alright, so again, I want you to work in pairs. It can be the same pair, different pairs, up to you. But I want you to talk about the stereotypes and explain the use of the codes and conventions used in their construction, and then provide examples of the characters from film and TV series that you've seen. Alright, so the first one that has been done for you is housewife. Then we've got single lady, working mother, powerful woman, female superhero, queen bee, girl next door, and damsel in distress. Alright, use the rest of the period to get these tables done and the quick activity done. And I want you to upload the media representations booklet to the learning task, alright, because it is your first outcome for this unit. So make sure you get it done. Alright, it is due by Friday's class. Alright, so make sure you get it done. If it's not done in class, get it done for homework.